What, my 69?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was thinking about putting that in the background too. But.
Okay. Howdy. I don't know how to really start these. Usually I just go. There's really not a delay. Welcome to the inaugural episode of the 52 Reasons podcast. Welcome.
Yo! How we doing?
Yeah, I thought you were yelling at your dog. So there's a bit of a different format than I'm used to. I'm used to sitting alone in my room by myself and whispering sweet nothings to you fine people. But now I'm here with John in person. Like he's a physical person.
I'm here. We'll hold hands the whole time.
Yeah, under the table right now, he's giving me a over the pants hand job. It's actually insane what's happening right now. But it's game face only. Obviously, I'm a baseball guy. I do have a baseball podcast. However, there's an Eagles one. For years, people have been asking me, Jared, do an Eagles one. Here we are. We're here. We're ready. We made it. Basically, the format of this is going to be very similar. It's just going to be, in the first episode, it's basically we're going to go over, draft, season preview, hone in on the Packers game that's coming up on Friday. And then we're going to look ahead towards the rest of the season as a whole, kind of see where they play out. But then the following weeks, we are just going to be basically going over the game, what we liked, what we didn't like, what do they need to fix, what worked for them, and then preview the next game of the season. But John, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. It's football season.
Football season. We made it.
Finally
made it through. But we gotta look at the draft. Drafts came and went, and I know we're a little late, but shut up. We didn't come up with this until recently. What did you take out of what the Phillies, what the Eagles did in the draft?
It's Howie season. It was Howie season.
It was Howie season.
I mean, look. The collapse last year was the collapse last year.
Yeah.
Start A to start B, it was awful.
Yeah.
Offense, defense, special teams, everybody sucked.
Mm-hmm.
The talent's on offense. The money is on offense.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying A.J. Brown. You're paying Devontae Smith. You're paying Jalen Hurts. You're paying Saquon.
But John, I was told that Howie couldn't sign all those guys after signing Jalen to a big deal. I was told that he could never do it. Anyway,
so the draft was naturally always going to be defense.
Yeah.
Defense. Love Mitchell. I love Quindon Mitchell. I think he is going to be a all-pro corner.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a hot take.
No.
I think by the end of this season, his rookie year, he will be the best corner on this roster.
Yes.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Mm-hmm.
Better than Slay. A little overrated.
Well, I think the whole purpose is Howie is very good about drafting ahead of guys leaving.
Yes.
He drafted Juergens to take over for Kelsey when he retired. He drafted Jalen when Carson was still here, but that was a whole different situation. So I think he's kind of letting him learn under Slay for the next couple years and then kind of take the spot in there.
So first round pick, I think is an absolute stone cold lock, as much as it could be a lock.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cooper Najee.
The Blizzard.
Blizzard. We love what he represents.
Yes, our Jackie Robinson.
However, a little bit worried about Cooper Najee.
Here's my thing with I get it, but you also got to think he was hurt. He's coming off an injury. I don't think he is going to. I think he's going to be on special teams. You think
probably to start out.
Once he kind of gets his feet wet, and then he's just going to kind of hit the ground running there.
Yeah, I mean, look, after taking Mitchell 1, did you need another cornerback in the second round? That's where I kind of
doesn't hurt.
But does it? I mean,
but you also got to think how he goes into like. I always think back to like 2022. The Eagles lose that game. Who was it against that they lost the perfect game to? It was the Commanders, right?
Yes.
What was the main thing the Commanders did? They ran it down their throats.
They did.
So what did Howie Roseman go out and do?
Brought in Ndamukong Suh.
Ndamukong Suh and somebody else.
Linval Joseph.
Yes. Brought them in to stop the run. So Howie said, I get the best corner in the draft. The next best corner fell right to me. Might as well take him too.
Yeah, I just feel like there was more needs to fill them there.
Yeah.
Now, Cooper could come out and be a baller in the slot, be a baller at safety, and I look stupid.
Fingers crossed.
But we'll see. That's one of those picks where it's like, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Third round, Jalix Hunt. Interesting.
Hell of a
Interesting name, huh? I think he's gonna be a player.
Yeah. I mean, he looked fine in the preseason. Anytime, I always take preseason stuff with a grain of salt. I think all of us, except when it fills our narrative. Then it's oh, we're so back. He had a fine preseason. Again, I got to see it in game. I kind of got to see how he does against starters, against NFL players.
Yes.
Before being like, oh, he's okay, he's this, he's that. Again, unless it fits my narrative.
I just feel like this team, after trading Reddick to the Jets,
great move by the way.
I mean, he may hold out the whole season.
How we do?
We need pass rush.
Yes,
we do. Brandon Graham, we love Brandon Graham. We appreciate everything he did, but he's not Brandon Graham of 2017. He's just not.
I mean, he had that resurgence 2022.
He did, and I think he'll give you his 5 to 7 sacks.
Yeah,
but he's not playing every down anymore.
No, he's not.
Nolan Smith, I think it's very much telling. He was playing in the fourth quarter of the third preseason game.
Yeah.
So we're going to need somebody to step up as pass rusher. We just need to.
I mean, your boy Bryce Huff.
Bryce Huff, Howie Roseman, all-time Eagle. If he wore a number, it'd be up in the rafters.
Yes.
Don't get the Bryce Huff signing.
Well, I mean, he knew Howie knew that Hassan Reddick was gonna either hold out, whatever. He knew that was going to happen. I don't think you signed Bryce Huff to. I mean, obviously, you signed him to be the replacement to Hassan Reddick, but I don't think that's his expectation because I think there's so many more guys on defense that are going to supplement that. Zero's going crazy down there.
I don't know what's going on.
Shout out to Zero.
So, Jalix Hunt, I think, may be your 6 to 10 sack a season guy. Mm-hmm. Maybe not first season because he's still a very raw player. Pause. But I think eventually down the line he could be your next big pass rusher to go along with Jalen Carter.
Yes.
Late round, notable guys.
I already know where you're going with this.
Well, let's stay on the defensive train.
Okay.
Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
could potentially be the steal of the entire draft. He looked insane in preseason. Again, preseason only matters when it fits our narrative.
Yes.
And that's that Trotter is going to be his father.
I mean, look, preseason is preseason. I mean, Nakobe Dean looked like Luke Kuechly out there in preseason.
So true.
But he looks like there's something there.
He does.
Whether he be a 3-down linebacker making plays, or if he's just a great special teams player, which is, I think, his floor this season.
Yeah.
But I do like I like the pick. Just makes everybody feel good. Makes everybody want to believe in this defense.
Yes,
if you will.
Yeah, because that's the big thing. I mean, obviously you had the collapse last year. They forgot how to tackle. You had Matt Patricia as your DC for half of the year, which I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy.
No.
I feel like anything is better than what they were last year.
Yes.
If they had us on defense, I think I could get maybe a half sack. Maybe.
I mean, I'm not going there.
If you bully me.
Back to the most important side of the football.
Offense. I already know where you're going with this.
My
dude,
favorite player on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a hot take.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Will Shipley.
It's Will Shipley. That's RB2 right there.
I love him.
Yeah.
I love him.
He looked good. First touchdown of the preseason.
Not even just preseason. I loved him in college. He falls forward every single time.
Wait, you mean that's allowed in the NFL? I didn't know if Kenny Gainwell really got... I don't know if he got that message.
Kenny Gainwell also didn't know how to pick up a blitz, but, that's not the point. I honestly think this guy won't be... Obviously, Saquon's your every down back.
Yes.
But I think he's going to save you a lot of Saquon later in the season.
Yes, because the Saquon thing is injury. And
Yes.
obviously he played in New York with a bad O-line, like a bad O-line.
Yes.
And he was just getting bullied to all hell there. Now you have, I mean, listen, we give Kenny Gainwell shit, but he's fine.
Yeah.
Like when you need him to be there, you have Shipley now. I mean, he made the roster. You have a running back room that is not going to be heavy reliant on Saquon being that guy. Obviously, like you said, he's your every down back, but he's not going to be like just buried into the ground. You can have that revolving door. Now, I wish instead of Kenny Gainwell, we had Boston Scott in the backfield. I thought when the Rams released him that Howie was going to be like, come home. However, the Steelers do play the Giants this year.
They do.
So,
Anytime touchdown?
no, not after. So, a little story here. I got burned last year. So, I was sitting. It was New Year's weekend. I was down the shore with Ashlyn and my girlfriend, and we were relaxing and enjoying ourselves. And then I'm scrolling through, and I see on Twitter, God, what was even Rashad Penny? God, Rashad Penny.
Disgusting.
I absolutely blocked him out of my mind so much. Rashad Penny was taking first team reps, so I'm like, oh, my time to go. I put $15 on a Rashad Penny anytime touchdown. The buyout, I think, was like $300.
Something like that.
Guess who didn't touch the ball one time?
Guess who didn't touch the ball all season?
Yeah, it was Rashad Penny, everybody. Anyway.
Turns out Rashad Penny actually stinks.
And turns out, why was he on the roster to begin with?
Didn't they give him the minimum?
Yeah, they sure did. Because he was like, his injury was always his thing, but when he was playing, he was always good. And you had DeAndre Swift was a O-line merchant, just like Miles Sanders. So I don't think he's going to be that good in Chicago. I love DeAndre Swift.
Speaking of previous great Seattle running backs, you know I drafted in fantasy one time in the second round?
Oh.
Chris Carson. Broke his neck. He was done that entire season.
Why would you do that?
Dude, he was so good that 1 year.
Yeah, that 1 year. There's emphasis on that 1 year. And anybody else stick out to you in the draft, or?
I feel like, late flyers here and there, but I think that McMahon guy out of Michigan,
yes,
center.
He's a right guard.
Right guard.
Yeah, I think he could be.
He could be
games.
something. He could be something.
I mean, I trust Stoutland at any given time to put that.
I have a feeling at some point during this season. Not week 1, not week 5. Later during the course of the season, people get banged up.
That's just inevitable. You play 18 weeks of football. Someone's going to get hurt.
Mekhi Becton, he looks good where he's at.
Yes,
but he's also very injury prone as well.
Which is why I think depth was a very important part. Anybody that off on the O-line, whoever the Eagles get, I trust Howie knows what he's doing. Especially Stout knows what he's doing.
Yeah. But if there's one position we know how to draft, it's offensive line.
It is. It is
offensive line.
All the way around. Lane Johnson, draft.
All-time pro, yeah.
All-time pro. Right guard, obviously, has kind of been a turnstile since Brandon Brooks. A little bit. You had some stability with Samalu. Center, obviously. And I saw an article talking about why nobody's worried about Cam Jurgens.
Why would you be?
Because Cam Jurgens, he played center last preseason, looked incredible. Jason Kelsey has spoken very highly of Cam Jurgens, and it's not like this is his first year in the league. No. Cam Jurgens, he played right guard last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He knows this offensive line.
Seamless transition.
Transition. At center, you have Jurgens. Left guard, your favorite player.
Landon Dickerson.
Love Dick.
We love Dick.
And then, wasn't Dickerson's whole thing, he was injury prone in college? He would have went top 10.
He was injury prone. We got him in the second round, and he was also a center.
Yeah.
He was supposed to take over for Kelsey, and Kelsey wound up playing a couple more years, so they switched him over to guard.
And he is all-pro.
All-pro.
And obviously, first-time captain, Jordan Mailata. Our guy. Love Jordan Mailata, voice of an angel.
Yes.
So you go into this season. Is there anything else draft-wise you want to... Okay.
Side note.
Okay, side note.
Speaking of voice of an angel, you saw they're bringing back the Christmas album?
I did. Third year in a row. I should have... One of these episodes I'm going to wear, I have the Christmas album shirt.
Oh.
You do? When it gets closer to Christmas time, that's when we'll be rocking.
Got my Eagle Santa hat.
I think I have one. If not, I'll just Amazon's a beautiful.
I got you, bro.
He's got me. Anything else draft wise before we?
Draft wise, not really. Off season as a whole,
A+.
I'll give them an A.
They filled every need.
They filled every need, and they re-upped the dudes they needed to re-up.
Yes. Like, you went going into the season, A.J. Brown was up, Devontae was up. Not really a running back one. Your defense was kaput.
Yeah.
And then, what does Howie do? Extends Dickerson. Yeah, I didn't even mention Dickerson.
Yeah.
Extend Dickerson, extend Brown, extend Devontae Smith. You then sign Saquon. You sign Bryce Huff, to your chagrin. You sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Back.
Like, it's very good. Howie Roseman is very good at
and I
his job.
appreciate that he gets it done
quickly. He sets the market.
He sets the market because you've seen what happened with Brandon Ayuk. You've seen what happened with CeeDee Lamb.
Continues with Brandon. No, he got his.
He did get his money. Yeah, he got his money. And then you see what's going on with Dak in Dallas and Micah.
I think they made their decision. If you're Dallas, like, you're sticking with CeeDee, which in my opinion is the right move.
Yeah.
Like, I think sticking with CeeDee and Micah, if they can get a Micah deal done. Dak, listen, as much we hate the Cowboys, obviously we're Eagles fans, but Dak is a good quarterback. He's
above average.
He is just Kirk Cousins.
He's Kirk Cousins. Yeah,
like
Kirk Cousins with talent.
He'll have you competitive. He'll be very competitive throughout the season, but just chokes in the playoff.
Yeah.
Now you subsidize that with with literally anybody else. Like, the theme in the past couple of years is older quarterbacks going to teams who are a quarterback away. Brady, Stafford. Goff, they kind of built around Goff a little bit, but they tried to do it in Indianapolis with Matt Ryan after Carson Wentz. My guy, Carson Wentz. I'm still a Carson Wentz guy. Hate on me all you want. You can do that. I
have an autographed Carson Wentz Funko Pop up there. It's behind the football.
How is it? Oh, I see it.
Yeah, we'll have to bring it up front and center one of these times.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like Howie's always ahead of it. There's no players that are threatening of holding out, and if they are, and Howie doesn't want to sign them, they're not going to be here.
Yeah.
Hassan Reddick,
DeAndre Swift, Miles Sanders. Thank God they avoided that contract.
God, Miles Sanders.
I do have a Miles Sanders jersey.
I was at Rally House.
Also, my Saquon jersey never came, I think, because it's a holiday. We'll get to that.
Good point. I was at Rally House. We were at the something outlets, and there was a Rally House. Not discounted, believe it or not. But $50, 26 jerseys. I was like, oh, I'm going to get me a Barkley.
Miles
Sanders.
Did I tell you what I saw in the Rally House in Newtown?
What's that, Chief?
So, Ashlyn and I think it was when we were hanging out.
Okay.
Ashlyn and I went there prior to going because I wanted to get some stuff for my office, and I look up, and what do I see? A number 18 Jalen Reagor jerseys.
Oh. And
you want to know how much they were?
I'm going to say $65.
You would be right on the money.
Oh, my.
$65. Look at you. $65. I mean, I'll be like, can I bargain with you? Can I give you like $10? Because I think that'd be very funny jersey to give like Chad.
Oh yeah.
He wouldn't. Chad is our boss.
He'd wear it though.
And he's a bald idiot.
Yeah.
Anyway, so going into the season, they start Friday. Your offense is loaded.
Absolutely.
We just went through the O-line. Jalen Hurts is your QB. QB2 is very questionable. I feel bad for Steelers fans having to deal with Kenny Pickett for 2 years. Your wide receiver room, we didn't even talk about Dotson getting traded here. We were talking about the offseason.
Yeah.
That's your wide receiver 3 right there.
That's still kind of new. Very new.
Yes. I wouldn't consider that like an off-season move because it's very new, and obviously we forgot about it that he is an Eagle.
Well, here's the question. Now that we're going to start talking more about the Eagles-Packers on Friday.
Yeah.
How much do you think he plays on Friday?
Dotson?
Yeah.
Probably the whole time.
You think so? What was he traded here? 2 weeks ago?
I think that's long enough to kind of learn.
You got to learn the offense. You got to get incorporated with your role. I mean,
I think Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, I think they're all very good about getting these new guys in. And I think they have such a culture where they're like, we're all winners. We all want to win. You're here, for a little bit. Like, let's get you in. Let's start practicing, running reps. And to be honest, like, even if he doesn't, I mean, who are you rolling out as your wide receiver 3 then? If it's not Dotson.
All right, you're gonna.
I know where you're going.
I'm gonna say this,
okay,
and it's gonna sound like he doesn't know what he's talking about. Picked the wrong guy to host with.
I think I know where you're going with this, and I think I'm going to agree with you.
But you have weapons upon weapons upon weapons. You got AJ Brown, you have Devontae Smith, you have Dallas Goedert, you have Saquon Barkley,
Jack Stoll, backup tight end.
I might do some double formations with the running backs and give Shipley a shot in the slot. It's a mismatch.
Yeah, and have Barkley.
Have Barkley coming out the backfield,
yeah.
And you could even split them, and you could have multiple read option, a triple read option.
That's the beautiful, and it's going to come down a lot on Kellen Moore, to kind of come up with this. And John, did you know? Are you hanging on to your seat? Do you know that you're allowed to have pre-snap motion?
Really?
Yeah.
Since when?
Apparently they didn't ban it last year.
That's not a new rule.
No, always been there.
Wow. Somebody should tell Brian Johnson.
Yeah, someone should tell Washington Commander Brian Johnson that they're allowed to do pre-snap motions. Do you think that's why Dotson wanted out? Because he's like, oh, dude, they're not putting me in motion. Get me the hell out of here.
I mean, maybe.
And I also love how, because we kind of talked about this when the Eagles traded for Dotson, that they could be loading up on picks to make a move for a Brandon Ayuk or somebody. That obviously didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't.
So Josh Harris, Philadelphian at heart, deep down.
You said, I think it was you that said, he's trying to get a championship here
one way or another, whether it's the Eagles or whether it's the Sixers. He's trying to get a championship here. So I got to give him credit. Offensively, you have Saquon, Gainwell, Shipley. Unfortunately, I think Shipley is going to be running back 3 to start. I just think because they know Kenny Gainwell, they expect that of him. And then tight end, you have Dallas Goedert, who I love to death. I'm a big Dallas Goedert guy. But unfortunately, injuries are just a part of his game.
They are.
Who is their backup tight end? It's not Jack Stoll. I said he's on the practice squad, though. Jack Stoll is.
Calcaterra.
That's right. That's right.
He play a little bit.
Not awful.
He can play a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, it's such beneficial for the Eagles to be in that situation where they have so many other weapons. Where it's like, if Goddard goes down, because let's be honest, inevitably he is going to go down.
Yeah,
it's not that much of a detrimental thing to them.
Not to this offense, no.
No.
And I think that was more of the move for Jahan Dotson, where it's like AJ Brown goes down, Devontae Smith goes down. We need somebody to go into that role and not be Britton Covey. As much as we love
I love Britton Covey. Statistically, the best punt returner in the NFL last year.
Excellent punt returner.
Yeah, knows
excellent.
Yeah, good at his job. You know who isn't? Jalen Reagor.
Yeah, same number.
Yeah. I just never give that number out again to anybody.
So how are we feeling about the Packers on Friday?
Before we started recording, I said I'm a little nervous. Just because I even said this when the schedule came out. I think it might be a trap game.
Okay, so here's where I'm at with the Friday game. I love opening weekend, Thursday, Friday, off Saturday.
Isn't it just Friday? There's no game Thursday, right?
There is a game Thursday. Chiefs Ravens.
How am I just finding out about that?
I don't know.
Big football guy. Yeah, big baseball guy over here.
But yeah, Chiefs Ravens.
Okay.
Eagles Packers.
Yep.
College football Saturday.
Nice.
Rest of the game Sunday and Monday.
Go Temple Owls.
So,
they're so
disgusting.
They're so bad.
I like the Friday game. Do not like it as a foreign game.
I get you.
I don't. It sets both teams back, at least to the rest of the season, at least until they're bye.
Yes.
Right. I mean, it's not an advantage for the Eagles. It's not an advantage for the Packers. I mean, if anything, it's a disadvantage for both teams.
Yes.
So I like the Friday game, but I think it should be in the United States.
Well, Money Man Goodell, anytime he can get it.
And I get it, man, but do it do it the weeks you're doing London and Germany and
Not
and all that
to start
stuff.
off.
No, it just doesn't make sense to do that.
No.
But with that said, Eagles sucked the last seven weeks of the season last
Because
season?
that Bills game, that was the best game of the year. The Bills Eagles game.
Yeah.
That was
Kelly
awesome.
Green.
Not only the Kelly Green, the rain.
Yes.
The whole game. That was like
The touchdown. He just throws up his arms.
That was a great game.
beautiful.
That was the last good game of the year.
Yes. Jake Elliott.
Jake the Make, my guy.
But
He's going to be on my fantasy team. Oh, we'll talk about my fantasy team in a minute.
But when we're looking at those things, there's no way they come out and lose this game. There's just no way.
It's an adjustment because you have new OC, new DC. Now, mind you, on the defensive side, a ton of turnover.
Yes.
It is not a lot of the same guys on defense, which is good because they train under Vic Fangio, who is the guru of... They've been trying to mimic Vic Fangio's scheme. Now they just have the guy in Vic Fangio.
Yeah.
And the fortunate thing is, he's probably going to be here a couple years because he's not going to get poached. He's not a young guy. He's done the head coaching thing very poorly, by the way. He's probably not going to be poached. So you're going to be a mainstay on defense.
Yep.
Offense, Kellen Moore. I feel like if he was going to get a job, he would have.
If the Eagles come out and have a top 5 offense, make a deep run of the playoffs, there's a very good chance he's hired as a head coach.
Which then that would be, if he does, that will be their 4th OC in 4 years. Yeah. Under Nick Sirianni.
Correct.
Because, listen, everybody gives Sirianni shit. I'm a big Sirianni guy. I like the culture that he brings. I think he's a very good head coach. And people are forgetting, John, that in every year he has been the Eagles head coach, what have they done?
They made it to the playoffs.
They have made it to the playoffs. The first year they started 2-5 and then went on that insane run.
After he made the flower comment.
Yeah, planting the seeds and pause. Year 2, obviously they were the best team in football. They were a James Bradbury hold away from winning the Super Bowl. Last year, WIP would say otherwise, but I don't think anybody really blamed Nick Sirianni for the downfall. It was really when Big Dom squared up against Ayuk is when it kind of went downhill.
Yeah, look, as the head football coach of the team, yes, you hold the responsibility of how the team plays.
Exactly. That's and it's like that in any sport. Baseball, the Phillies went through their ups and downs, and everybody was coming for Topper's head.
Yep.
Hockey, Flyers don't really have any expectations, and when Glenn Rivers, I'm not going to call him that.
No, don't call him that.
In basketball, with the Sixers, everything was bad. Everybody blamed him, and they had a good reason to blame him, because turns out not really good. Just like a similar Phillies manager that was. I was told, John, in the 2022 season that following said manager wouldn't change anything. That's what I was told, and then
here we are.
And then we went to the World Series. Anyway, this is not a baseball podcast. You can tune in Wednesdays for that one. Anyway, so I think you're right. I think that if they have a top 5 offense, which they absolutely have the potential to be,
they should be.
Because turns out, John, Jalen Hurts is still a very good quarterback, despite
everybody saying it. Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is a very, very good quarterback. I believe he was hurt last year and he was playing through it.
Oh, he was.
You can see it in his mobility in practice. You can see it, like his arm just looks better. Like he just looks
sprier.
Spry, exactly. It looks like he's back to his 2022 form, which he finished runner-up in MVP, which, barring a shoulder injury, he should have won it.
Yeah, he would have won it. Absolutely.
Now you get to the whole schedule. Okay, so let's talk about the Packers a little bit. You have a young team. You have Matt LaFleur, who's a very good head coach.
Very good head coach, yes.
Jordan Love, which everybody is crowning him a top 5 quarterback, even though he has had a half of a good season. I'm not trying to take away from Jordan Love. He is a very good quarterback.
Here's what I don't get, okay? This past year, 2023, that was his first year as a starter, right?
Yes.
Okay. C.J. Stroud.
Yes.
Same exact situation.
Yep.
Except he's a rookie.
Yep.
And everybody's saying, oh, well, it's too early to put C.J. in the top 5.
But they're doing that with
Jordan Love, top 5.
Yes.
Let's run through this really quick.
Yep.
All right. Top 5 quarterbacks.
Yep. Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
Number
and
one.
It's not close.
No, it's Mahomes and then arguments.
Arguments, yeah.
I say arguments. I mean, they're anyway.
Yeah. Number 2 is probably
Lamar. He's coming off an
Right.
MVP, 2-time MVP,
Yeah.
chokes in the playoffs.
Should have beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
Should have.
Should have.
You should have beat Bill Nye.
Zay Flowers doesn't fumble that football, they beat him.
Yep.
Um,
If James Bradbury doesn't hold, JJ or Juju.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Number 3, that's where you kind of have an argument. You could argue Josh Allen. You could argue Joe Burrow. You could argue Jalen.
I would put Josh Allen 3 just because of health. He's always healthy. Joe Burrow has had one healthy season.
But
Right.
that's the issue is, even in Josh Allen, all intents and purposes, has stayed healthy. Joe Burrow is not. But in Joe Burrow's one healthy season, he got to the Super Bowl and beat Mahomes.
Yeah, I get that. No, I do, and we kind of talked about this previously. In my opinion, when I'm looking at quarterback play, the best ability is availability. And if you're not available, I can't be like, oh, well, he's projected to be this good.
Yeah.
I need to see it. I've seen it with Josh Allen year in and year out.
Yeah, I'm fine with putting Josh Allen there. Number 4, it's Jalen.
It has to be.
There's nobody else in the league except maybe like on Aaron Rodgers, which
See, I look at, when I'm looking at evaluating quarterbacks, everybody and their mother likes to do recency bias.
right.
I get it. That's the most recent thing. The reason, and I think you share this with me, the reason that I'm not putting CJ Stroud or Jordan Love or even who else am I thinking of?
I know you're not gonna say the bad man in California.
I'm not
right?
going to say the bad man in California. I need to see another year. Now, mind you, if CJ Stroud replicates his year that he had last year, I think he's a top 5 quarterback. Easy.
And I think he will. That team is loaded.
I mean, there's a diva on that team now.
There is.
There is a diva on that team, which might cry and pout when he doesn't get the ball enough. But I need to see more of it. And I'm saying the same thing for Jordan Love. I'm saying when Caleb Williams is going to do whatever he does. See, he was named the captain.
Yeah, I mean, he's a quarterback. Most quarterbacks are just automatically named captains.
Yeah. I need to see. My thing for evaluating quarterback play is 2+ years.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Jalen, obviously, the 2020 season, he was lining up as a wide receiver in 2020.
Number 2,
Jalen. 2021, his first year as a starter. He has the bad start. They were still a lot of growing pains. New head coach, new OC, new DC, new everything. Mm-hmm. Then they go on that great run.
right?
And you're like, okay, you see everything. Then obviously 2022, it's his MVP year. Last year, he still had a good year statistically.
Yes.
But similar to the Eagles, it was like, how are they doing this right now?
Right.
And it's a lawnmower. I was like, the hell's going on? That's why I'm not ready to put CJ Stroud. I love CJ Stroud. He got me a lot of fantasy wins last year.
He's very good.
But I'm not ready to put him into that upper echelon yet.
And that's the same way I feel about Jordan Love. Was like, look, you were fantastic. I love you for beating the shit out of the Cowboys.
Forever an Eagle.
We appreciate
maybe the greatest
that.
Eagle of all time, Jordan Love.
After they lost to the Bucs, only thing we could hope for was the Cowboys lose.
And not only did they lose, they got embarrassed at home in prime time.
And honestly, they should have beat the 49ers.
Yes.
If it wasn't for that interception in which he threw, they would have beaten the 49ers.
I agree.
So I need to see more. Not saying he's not a good quarterback. He's a very good quarterback, but I need to see at least another full season.
And if he does, then top 5. I have no problem putting it. Well, top 10. I won't say top. Yeah. I have no problem putting him up there. I'm just putting him a little bit outside the top 10 right now.
Right.
Because I just want to see more.
But their their offense, solid. It's solid. I mean, you have Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs
could be good.
I don't know. I don't know.
He could be good.
He could
also could stink.
He could be Derrick Henry, or
like 2024 Derrick Henry, or like
2024 Derrick Henry.
Okay, I was gonna say, or like 2020 Derrick Henry.
He could be the McCaffrey treatment where he was with the Panthers. He was awful. Traded over to the Niners. Best running back in the league.
Probably. Well, no, he got Offensive Player of the Year last year, right?
McCaffrey.
Yeah. Remember when they thought Brock Purdy was going to win MVP?
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
Brock Purdy stinks. He is not a good. Okay, let me talk about Brock Purdy for a second before I throw this table. Brock Purdy is a fine quarterback. He is perfect for the position he is in. But turns out, John, when you don't have superstars at every position, you have to make plays on your own. And what didn't he do during the preseason?
He didn't make plays on his own.
No, he did not.
Here's the thing with Brock Purdy. All right, this is not a pro Brock Purdy podcast. That's a mouthful. Brock Purdy, you put him on, I don't know, the Minnesota Vikings.
Not good.
He's out of the league in 3 years.
I would say 2.
I think
he's good at what he does.
He's good at what he does. He's good for what Kyle Shanahan needs him to do. Period.
Similar to every quarterback that goes through Kyle Shanahan's offense.
He's Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's
just not handsome.
No, he's so nice.
He's not handsome.
So handsome, Jimmy Garoppolo.
All right. So yeah, I mean,
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs. The wide receiver room's fine. There's no superstar that I'm like, oh no, like we gotta look out for Justin Jefferson. We have to look out for Brandon Ayuk. We have to look out for CeeDee Lamb. There's nobody there that I'm like, oh no. Their offensive line is fine. They're good, solid. Their defense is the same.
They're just a solid team.
They're a solid team.
Like they're not bad, but they're not like, oh, I'm terrified of them. They have that ability to be there. Like I think if they are what they were last year, obviously if they take that leap, if they're like 11-6, 12-5, like I can definitely see that.
I see 10-7.
I see 10. Okay.
They're not going to win that division. The Lions are too good. They will not win.
Is that a sentence you ever thought you'd say? No. And I want to say right here, right now, I was on the Dan Campbell train before anybody was. When they were 0-10, 0-11,
yeah, something like that.
I was saying Dan Campbell, that's America's team right there.
Biting kneecaps.
Bite your knee. I was ready to gear up for Dan Campbell. I love that guy. Anyway,
but they're solid. They will be a wild card team.
Yes.
They could knock off somebody in the playoffs.
They did last year.
They did last year.
The big bad Cowboys.
I just don't see a world where the Eagles lose this game. I just don't.
I do.
I mean, I said that for the Super Bowl in 2022, which we know how that ended. Here's another interesting point. Okay. So the game is in Brazil.
Yep.
At a soccer stadium.
Yep.
I know ball.
I used to
kick
balls.
Eagles are considered the home team.
Yes, they are.
For that game.
They are.
Usually that's not significant in a neutral ground.
Mm-hmm.
However, did you know that the away team locker room in which the Packers will be in is designed to filter all the noise from the crowd in there pregame, halftime, and postgame, while the home away side where the Eagles will be staying is completely silent.
I did not know that.
I found that out today.
That's Eagles by a million. Official stance.
The other thing.
Okay.
I don't want to say sources because I don't know how that works. But I also heard
Twitter. I usually just go up Twitter.
I also heard the Eagles' choice to wear black, white, black is in honor of the soccer team, home team in which stadium they are in. So all those neutral people that are going to the game
will recognize
the Eagles' color scheme and root for the Eagles. While the Packers, on the other hand, are wearing green. And that's a no-go in Brazil, especially in that stadium. Couple of interesting...
With that being said, Eagles by a million.
I mean, you're splitting hairs at this point, but like these are the things like
that
come into play.
Matter.
And it's like, okay, well, these teams are pretty evenly matched. I think the Eagles are a better team, but it's also a new system.
Yep.
New players on defense.
Yep.
But these are the things that are going to come into play where it's like, okay, wow, well, the Eagles have the advantage here and here and here, and it's... I personally... Read the score predictions?
Sure, yes, sure. Yeah, we'll do a little score. Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. I have the Eagles winning this game.
I have a number in my head, and I'm going to see if you match it.
34.
Yep. Say it.
27.
Oh, I wasn't going to go 27. I was going to go 34-17.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't. I see 34-27. I think the Packers get I think it's 34-20 with like 5 minutes
and
left.
They get like
just a late like bullcrap touchdown, fantasy points, woo. But I think it's comfortable for the most part. Link's out there, he's not happy.
Yeah, your son's kind of freaking out. All right, I like that. I'm very excited to see this offense in its full force because we've seen them in the preseason, and Kenny Pickett is just abysmal. We've seen it kind of.
We're gonna write this down.
Oh, we're gonna. Okay. See, that's why I need them. That's why I need, because I wouldn't think to do this if I was doing this on my own. So you said, we'll do this every week. We'll recap. We're going along the ride with you. We don't have any of this figured out. We're just kind of going with it right now.
What'd you say? 34-17?
17, yeah. Do you want to pull up the rest of the schedule?
Yes.
And we'll go through that.
All right, so week 1, we both have a win.
We do.
Mine's a little bit tighter than yours. Pause. So you know what, buddy? It just comes out sometimes.
Dude, I was in college once.
But yeah, we both have wins. Mine is a little bit of a closer game than yours would be.
Okay.
Eagles are currently favored by 3 points.
Okay.
So
that's fair.
Yeah. Week 2, we have a Monday night affair in primetime against Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons.
It's a win. We don't need to elaborate.
Not only it's a win, the Falcons will win that division.
Yeah, it's a bad division though.
Baker Mayfield.
Listen. I'm in on Baker.
The clock is going to strike midnight. He had a solid year.
I'm in on Baker.
I think he's going to stink.
I really like Baker.
I think he's going to stink. He's going to stink.
And what if he doesn't?
Then he doesn't. But I'm telling you, I think he's going to stink.
Because Baker currently is 1-0 against us in the playoffs, pal.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, I got Eagles in that game. It's Nick Foles' retirement night. They're going to put his jersey in the rafters.
Oh, Eagles by a million.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, I wouldn't even show up, dude.
It's done. Week 3, Eagles at Saints.
Win.
I say win.
Saints stink.
Saints do stink. Eagles play terrible in New Orleans. Always have. It's just always been a thing. Sheldon Brown, remember the Sheldon Brown hit on Reggie Bush?
Yes, I do.
Just they always play bad in New Orleans. New Orleans stinks.
I think they break that straight this.
Yeah, I think they win the game, but it's going to be one of those ones where I feel like it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. To be honest with you,
who is going to? Oh, it's probably still going to be Derek Carr. I was going to say who is going to be
Derek Carr. Not a good quarterback.
But not a bad one.
Not a bad one. I just feel like he's going to go like 27 of 35, 300 yards and like 2 touchdowns and an interception against us. That's my gut feeling.
Who's their back? It's not Jameis anymore.
It's not Jameis anymore. I don't know.
Was a big Jameis guy.
Is it Taysom Hill?
Technically.
I don't know. Week 4. Eagles at Bucks.
I think that's a loss.
Really? You're really on this Baker train, aren't you?
It's not only that, but it's the same thing with the Saints, that they don't play well in Tampa Bay. They dookie the bed every time.
Do you remember how bad they played in that playoff game?
2 years. 2 out of 3 years.
Well, one was against the greatest quarterback in the history of the game.
It's a weird way to say Jameis Winston, but...
I have them winning that game, and I have them actually blowing them out. Whatever the point spread is, I'm hammering that.
Okay.
There's no way they lose that game. There's no way they lose that game. That's a revenge game. That's when the can just opened and it was done.
I hope you're right, but my gut, my loins are telling me that's.
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 though.
I have 3 and
1. Browns.
Lost.
Coming to the link.
Who is, and I mean this, starting for the Browns at that point? Is it Deshaun Watson or is it Jameis Winston because Deshaun got hurt?
I think it's Deshaun.
Okay, then it's a win because Deshaun is so bad. Remember when we were clamoring for Deshaun Watson? I don't care about the allegations, dude. Get him here. It turns out he's not very good.
Here's the thing with Deshaun Watson. and the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson's not very good anymore. He's just not.
No, turns out he had one good year, and that was about it.
Also, thing that can take into consideration is they probably will not have a fully healthy Nick Chubb at that point either.
True. He'd be on his way back. If it's not this game, it'll be the next.
Right, and coming off that injury,
their defense is still insane.
Their defense is very good,
but our offense is also very good. That's gonna be a good game.
I was going to say loss, but I'm actually talking myself into win here.
You sound like a true WIP fan right now.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like we just said, Deshaun Watson stinks. Yep. Nick Chubb will not be playing in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense kind of counterpoints our offense. Here's a take. I feel like that's our defense's coming home game. Where it's like, okay these guys could actually do
like they're
something
rounding
for
into
us.
Form in that.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think you see at least 3 turnovers for the Eagles defense and possibly a score in that game.
Okay. I like it.
Mark it. I don't think we have to dive too deep into this Eagles-Giants.
Win.
At MetLife.
Win.
Saquon Barkley goes for 300 yards.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's going to score at least once. He's going to score at least 1 touchdown in that game.
I really want him in fantasy. But he's not going to fall to me.
No.
Because I balled.
Chad's going to take him and Drake London. All right. Here's my first loss of the season.
Eagles-Bengals.
Eagles-Bengals. Joe Burrow will be healthy. Joe Burrow will be healthy. Jamar Chase will be healthy. T. Higgins. I have T. Higgins 1,000 yards this season. I think he's bouncing back big time.
Sleeper in fantasy?
I have him in one league. I'm telling you.
We'll get into my fantasy team in a minute.
So yeah, I got the Bengals in that game. What are you thinking?
I agree. I mean, if Joe Burrow is healthy, I think it is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a lot closer than if it's Jake Browning. Their defense,
it's fine.
It's fine.
It's nothing to write home about.
Exactly. That's why I think the Eagles might have the upper hand in that game. Yeah, I'll go with you. I think that's going to be a loss.
Whiteout game for the Bengals, that game.
Game. That's going to be a loss.
Yeah. You always got to take the uniforms into consideration.
You do.
I'm telling you. Speaking of which, Dougie's coming home.
Dougie's coming home again.
Our hero.
Doug. Win.
Playing against the Eagles.
Win.
In Kelly Green.
Win.
It's a win.
It's a win.
It's a win for the Eagles.
Turns out Trevor Lawrence kind of stinks.
Yes. Eagles at Dallas.
At Dallas?
At Dallas.
Loss. They do this every year. I mean, do we really need to go in? They do it every year. They lose in Dallas, they win at home. That's kind of just how it is. You're not going to say it. He's going to say it. Go ahead.
Eagles sweep Dallas this year.
Whoa! There's a hot take. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, that offense is bad.
Dallas stinks.
I mean, their O-line, not great. Dak is good.
Dak is fine.
CD, very good.
Very good.
That's it. That's your offense right there.
They got Brandon Cooks, a shell of himself. They have Zeke, a shell of himself. Deuce Vaughn, who's shorter than both of us.
He could be good.
He's shorter than both
They're
of us.
banking on him being good.
No.
Yeah, and John is very short. And just for the record, he is very, very short. For the record, John is... He's a little bitty baby. He's a little guy.
Anyway. Yeah, I got an Eagles win.
Okay, I like it.
Here's another take. Eagles win in Dallas next week. Commanders versus Eagles Thursday night game.
Oh, probably
at the link.
That might be a loss.
I have a loss.
Yeah. Commanders, I got to give them credit. They always play well against the Eagles.
I have a loss.
But coming off a short week, having a divisional game.
Big win in Dallas.
Exactly. Now,
first time seeing Jaden Daniels.
Now, if the Eagles lose that game, I will fear for the Commanders because the Eagles are going to come out angry in that game.
So I have 2 losses thus far.
I kind of lost track.
Yeah, but we'll go through it. It's on recording.
That's true.
Eagles Rams on the road. They have 10 days 10 days to prepare for this game.
I think it's a win. I think they go out west early.
Yes.
Get used to the time zone. I got to win. I mean, I love Matt Stafford. I love the Rams. They have very good weapons on offense. What week is that?
That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
There's a real chance Cooper Kupp is hurt. There's a real chance Matt Stafford might be hurt.
Yeah.
If they're not, for all argumentative purposes, and I know we kind of, day late, dollar short on this. Let's say everybody's healthy. It's going to be a tough game. Matt Stafford is still very good. You have Cooper Kupp. You have Puka, which I'm steering clear of Puka in fantasy this year. Think he's bound to regress.
How could you not after last season?
Yeah, he was incredible. He also won me a lot of fantasy games. But, who else do they have on offense?
Kyron Williams, who was very good last year. However, we do hear he will be taking punt returns and kick returns, which that tells you...
Not a great sign that he's on his way out.
Yeah. So, I have a win. I think
the 10 days is going to help.
I think it's going to be a very tight one, though.
Yes.
Sean McVay, excellent head coach. What?
So you think it's going to be a tight one?
Oh, my God. Yeah, I got a win there.
Okay.
Eagles at Ravens, week 12.
Loss.
I do have a loss as well.
We're saying everybody's healthy. That defense is still very, very good.
Defense is good.
But that team is bound to regress. They went 14-3 last year. When Lamar won the MVP, that team is bound to have regression. Now, what state are they going to be in by the time we get there? And I said for this purpose, they're all healthy, which I'm saying they are. I'm saying from a team perspective, where are they going to be at?
Yeah, here's the thing. I think they lose that game as well. I'm at 3 losses here. But this is another, realistic expectations. Lamar could easily be hurt in that game.
Yeah.
Easily.
Tyler Huntley, right? They just re-signed him.
They did just re-up him, yeah. Yeah, they just got him. So if Lamar's not playing, I think the Eagles win. But if he's playing, he's the Lamar we know, they're going to lose that game.
Yeah.
Okay. Week 13, I believe we're on. Panthers at the Link.
Win. We won't even divulge.
I don't think we need to go too far in depth with that. Panthers stink. Bryce Young. Oh, no.
Is he?
Bryce Young is a bust.
It's not good.
He's just not a good player.
Imagine
taking him over CJ Stroud.
Imagine wanting to trade up for CJ Stroud and then your head coach, who you were going to fire 3 games later, told you no and didn't draft him, and now have to roll out Gardner Minshew.
Gotta love the Raiders. Next game. Steelers at Eagles.
Win.
Kenny Pickett revenge game.
Did you just fart?
I did not.
Okay, it was the seat. Okay.
Win.
I think Justin Fields will be starting by that time. I think somehow they'll be over 500. Mike Tomlin special.
Here's a take. Kenny Pickett plays the 4th quarter for the Eagles.
In that game?
In that game.
All right. I can say
I think the Eagles are up 20 plus.
Yeah.
And it's get out there, Kenny.
Let small hands get in there.
Get in there, Kenny. Week 14, 15? 15? 15. Eagles at Commanders. I have a win in that game. As I mentioned, I had them losing earlier in the season against them at home. So on a Thursday night as well. So I feel like this one is a slam dunk. Lock it in, win.
Yeah, they play well at FedEx, or what is it called now?
I don't know.
Something insurance.
I was there. It's awful. That's the game that everybody almost collapsed on Jalen and ended his career. Awful. Awful.
Crazy time. But you have that. Win. I'm not even gonna have to delve into it.
Week 16.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys at Eagles.
Could potentially have playoff divisional implications to it.
I don't think it will. I really don't.
I think the Eagles are going to win the division, I think, pretty easily. Just because, obviously, we're biased. We're Eagles fans. I think the Commies finished second.
I think so, too.
They're building something there. I got to give them credit.
Jalen Daniels, I think, is going to be something. I think
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, that's it.
Idiot.
Shut up.
Stupid.
Jaden Daniels, I think, will be...
good.
I think he might be better than Caleb Williams.
I think Caleb is going to be a bust. I don't think he's going to... I think Caleb Williams is going to be a good quarterback. I don't think he is going to be who they think he is going to be.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I have a win there. I don't think he's going to have anything to do with the division. I think the division's wrapped up. I think that's for seeding.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles get the only first round bye.
Okay.
And then last but certainly not least,
The Kenny Pickett game.
the Kenny Pickett game. The Tanner McKee game.
If Kenny Pickett's going to be traded to the Minnesota Vikings.
For a first round pick.
First round pick.
Who
says no?
Against the Giants.
Yep.
I just don't think anybody's going to be playing, to be honest with you.
No.
So I have a loss. Just
yeah, I mean, it usually happens. Like
it's preseason. I mean, hell, maybe we'll go to that game.
That would be funny.
I mean, it's January 4th or 5th, depending on flex positioning.
That's a Saturday or Sunday, because my birthday's on that Monday.
Nobody cares. So, yeah. I think that's a win. Or a loss, excuse me. So I have 4 losses.
I've kind of lost track. I think I'm around there.
I have 4 losses. So what is that? 12 and
5?
12 and 5. No, 13 and 4. 13 and 4.
Okay, yeah, 13
and 4.
They went 12 and 5 last year.
Yeah. I have 13 and 4.
Yeah, they definitely didn't start 10 and 1 last year, right?
No. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I think it's gonna be a very good season for the Eagles. I'm feeling pretty good about pretty much everything. The only thing I'm a little bit hesitant on is the pass rush. I'm very worried about the pass rush.
I gotta say it. I'm not ready to jump to conclusions until I see everything. You know, I don't want to be like, oh, this might be good, this might not be good. Like, this could be great, this could not be great. I want to see everything as like, okay, this is Vic Fangio's touch on it. I honestly think that C.J. Gardner-Johnson being back is the most underrated move of the offseason.
Brings attitude.
Exactly.
What
did they lack last year? Attitude.
Attitude, heart, fight.
Good linebacker play.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too, is you got dudes at linebacker.
You got dudes everywhere.
You got Devin White, who...
Dog.
Not a great coverage linebacker, but if we're talking about bringing pressure, he's going to blitz his ass off.
Mm-hmm. Good move.
Nakobe Dean, for everything we talked about for the preseason, he's been your best player in the preseason.
He has. Well, Trotter.
Trotter as well. Trotter is the opposite of what Devin White is. Fantastic coverage linebacker.
Can't blitz.
He's not his dad. His dad was big dude, blitzer, hitting.
I need the axe. I need to see that.
We'll get an axe. We'll absolutely get an axe. But yeah, man, I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm feeling good. I think that if the Eagles don't perform, I think Sirianni's out. I think that's just how it's going to be. I think it's, in my opinion, a mistake, but
I think even if they make the playoffs and they don't win the division, they're out early like they were last time. I think Sirianni's out.
Mike Vrabel?
No, I think it's going to be Belichick. To be honest with you.
I kind of want Vrabel over Belichick.
I don't even want to talk about this right now because
I know.
Well,
season hasn't even started.
Let's get positive.
We're talking about who's Nick Sirianni's replacement.
Let's not get anybody fired yet.
Yeah, I mean,
we got plenty of time for that.
We do. Get us to week 3, and we're like, this fucking guy.
Should we go into our
fantasy team?
No, our segment.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Guess that.
And then, so we're gonna do a thing where John gives me a quote, and I get like 3 guesses to guess who said it, and we'll go from there.
3 questions too. Remember?
3 questions, 3 guesses. I can trade a guess for another question, and then we're gonna wrap up with fantasy because I did a funny thing.
All right. No cheating. Nope. Football is a game of controlled anger. It is a game of retribution. It's all about the will.
Can I just throw a guess out there already because I can hear this player saying it?
All right, go ahead.
Is it Brian Dawkins?
Wow, that was.
I can feel him saying it.
That was excellent.
That was not scripted, by the way.
That was excellent.
Look at that.
Brian Dawkins.
Brian Dawkins. I felt Dawkins in my bones.
Oh my god! I am actually very
because I struggled with that mightily while we were going through it.
Obviously, season preview. You had to do an eagle.
You had to do an eagle.
You had to do an eagle.
Yeah. It won't be that easy every time.
It will not be.
I can rest assured because we ran through it a couple times And it was like pulling teeth.
Well, see, I thought I was going to stump you because when we were doing it, 9 times out of 10 it was a quarterback.
It was a quarterback.
So I saw the Dawkins one and I was like, maybe he'll be thinking like I'll do a McNabb or a Cunningham.
No, I kind of thought you would do an Eagle, but like as you were going through the quote, I'm like, that's Doc.
It's Doc.
It's Doc right there.
Right.
So now wrapping up with fantasy, we're in 2 leagues together, John.
We are. Draft tomorrow.
One league is our serious big boy one. It's the one we do at work. The other one we kind of did for shits and giggles a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, at least I did.
Free league.
Free league, we kind of just joined it. It's myself, John, and all your brothers.
Yeah, all my brothers. Yeah.
All your brothers are in it, and a bunch of random people. I just did it for fun because I thought it'd be funny. Now, John, you took that draft semi-seriously because you want to beat your brothers.
So it started out as a bit, and then my one brother ruined the bet.
Like going too hard?
So I was going to go the whole entire Eagles roster. Mm-hmm. My roster was going to look like Jalen, Barkley, Shipley, AJ, Devontae, Dallas Goedert, probably Dotson.
Yeah.
Eagles defense, Jake Elliott. All right, just got to give you the scope of what we were looking at.
Yeah, pretty good.
Couldn't do it. Devontae Smith was taken in the round in which I was going to take him. So I had to call an audible and take it seriously because he pissed me off.
Yeah.
So currently constructed, we have Jalen, we have Saquon, we have AJ. The 3 best players on the offense.
So here, let me pull up. So I did it for a bit. Sean Schaub. So, so my John, you want to read what my name is there?
The name is the Blizzard.
Blizzard. You want to know why it's called the Blizzard?
No, why? Tell me.
Because white covers everything.
Green blanket shit.
Now, what I decided to do was draft an all-white team, because it's funny. So, at quarterback, I got Josh Allen. Turns out, outside of Christian McCaffrey, the running back room's a little light. I have Kyle Juszczyk. Juszczyk, same thing. I got Alec Ingold on the Miami Dolphins.
2 fullbacks, by the way, not running backs.
Not fullbacks. Cooper Kupp.
All right.
Adam Thielen. Not awful. Jake Ferguson, but I did not draft him. I drafted Sam Laporta. However, since I'm a great friend, John, what did I do for you, bud?
We swapped tight ends. He got Ferguson. I got Ferguson, or he got Ferguson. I got Laporta.
You got Laporta. Dallas Goedert as my flex. Not awful.
As we do.
I have the Niners defense, which you got to take a defense.
You got to name one white guy on the Niners defense.
I have the Eagles defense.
That was a easy one, buddy.
Was it?
Nick Bosa.
Oh yeah. Oh, how could I forget about Nick Bosa? Let's go. Jake Elliott is my kicker. A lot of kickers.
We love Jake Elliott.
My QB, tight end, and kicker room are very deep. As my backup quarterback, I got Jared Goff for my 2nd consecutive year.
Yep.
Eagles defense. I got Cam Dicker. Dicker the kicker.
Yep.
Eagles legend.
All-time Eagle.
I have Alec Pierce. I have Justin Watson.
Oh, God.
I have Patrick Ricard. And you gave me this one, Trenton Irwin.
Trenton Irwin, yeah. We remember Trenton Irwin.
Trenton Irwin.
He's got good flow.
Yeah, he does. As a guy with also great flow, I know all about it. But our big boy draft is tomorrow. 3.
Yep. Technically it's 3:15. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see technically 3:15. 0. Nothing after like 2:30,
12.
I think, tomorrow.
12.
I think I have a 1. We're discussing actual work. But that's besides the point. John, this has been a very successful first episode. Now, in terms of moving forward, this is going to come out every...
Speaking of which, shout out to my wife. My wife...
Shout out.
Changing up her work schedule so we can do this.
We love you
That's
back.
official.
Oh, nice.
So she's going to change it up. I'm going to have to get up early, drop the baby off at the mother-in-law's, and she's going to pick him up late. God bless her. We love you.
Bless Beck. But moving forward, it's going to come out every Tuesday, probably Tuesday night, because we both don't get off work till a little bit later.
Yep.
So we're going to record, and I'll get it uploaded as soon as I can. So Tuesday, and moving forward, the format's kind of going to be highlight the game,
Yep.
talk about score, what we like, what we didn't like, and then move into next week. So We'll try to make it as long as this one because this one's running, I think, like hour 15.
Close to it. Yeah.
We'll try to make it this long, but probably aiming like 40 minutes.
Something like that, yeah.
Kinda.
There's
And
a lot of bullshit between the two of us. So.
yeah, there is also true. And shameless plug here. Every Wednesdays, if you recognize this face here on, I have a Phillies podcast as well. .NET Phillies. Will it be linked? Maybe. I say it'll be linked and then I forget to do it in post. But if you want to follow me there, you can.
Keep a lookout for John's hot takes.
Keep a lookout for John's hot takes. And then this show is going to continue to evolve. Mm-hmm. We'll have our own segments, our own bits, everything. That's just kind of, we're just getting started here for this season. John, any final remarks?
JJ, as in JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
Big fan.
If you're watching, contact us.
Come on the pod.
Come on.
I want to talk to you. I'm not even kidding. I am your number one fan.
It really is.
If there is 100 JJ Arcega-Whiteside fans, I am one of them.
Yes.
If there is 50 JJ Arcega-Whiteside fans, I am one of them. If there is one JJ Arcega-Whiteside fan, I am him. If there is 0 JJ Arcega-Whiteside fans, I'm dead. I love you. I think Doug shafted you and didn't play you in the right position. So, JJ Arcega-Whiteside, if you're listening, which I'm sure he is. Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Contact me, not him. I handle the interviews here, and that's another thing. If we have guests on and anything, I will be the one in charge of interviewing.
I get a little fired up.
Yeah, he does. He does get a little fired up. So, interviews and stuff, it'll just be my beautiful face. But for the most part, it'll be us two.
Us two.
And, yeah, so, John, anything else?
Go Birds.
Go Birds. And we'll see you guys next week.
That's it.